So this is the old Canton, Ohio Amtrak station. It was built in 1978.
How much did you pay for this?
I was able to get this for If you come over here, there's a parallel set of stairs right here.
Can you go there?
If you want, I could probably take the boards off and we can explore a little. All right, this is gonna be interesting. You're about to have an exclusive.
Let's go.
So.
Hey Chad, what's up, man?
Hey,
How's
George.
everything?
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having us today. So where are we now, man? What's this?
So this is the old Canton, Ohio Amtrak station. It was built in 1978.
1978.
Yes.
And when did you buy this?
Well, I just purchased it about a month and a half ago. It operated as a train station for about 12 years. I think it was 78 to around 1990. Then they turned it into a restaurant, which I wish I could show you the hood, but I just had it moved out of here. But it was a massive kitchen hood they had for a grill top. The walk-in freezer still, or refrigerator still back there. But I think it operated as a restaurant longer than it operated as an Amtrak station.
Wow. So what makes you buy something like this?
Well, I live in the apartments right next door. So I walk by here almost every day. And I thought it was an interesting location, interesting look. Has, 20 parking spots downtown. It has an acre of land. It's got great architecture that's unique. So, I couldn't pass it up.
Yeah. How much did you pay for this?
I was able to get this for $200,000.
It was on the market?
It was only on the market a couple of months when I made my offer. I did want to snag it up though, because I thought it was a pretty unique find.
Nice. And you got a deal on this. You got it under asking, right?
Yes. I was very happy at what I got it for.
Yeah, it's so crazy, man. Is this like the photo here? Was this on, or did you guys paint this?
No, so this is actually, the date on here is all I know about. It says 1998. So since it was built in 78, this was painted 20 years later. From what I could see in some older photos, there were two more of these, I think on a different wall, but it's been painted over since. As far as like original features from when it was built, there's not a lot, unfortunately. You don't have, because this section back here, if you want to see, I'll show you real quick. It's really interesting. There's a platform which we can go out and look at, but how it worked was there was a ticket center or a ticket station right over there, and this was the waiting area over here. And then you would come back here, and starting right here, there was a stairwell, and pretend that room isn't there, but it was a stairwell. It looked like a subway, and it went all the way down. And at the end of the stairwell, it would turn left, and you would go under the tracks and then up a parallel stairwell onto the platform, and that's where you'd wait for the train.
Wow, that's awesome.
So,
yeah, let's take a look around. So did you add these walls, or the restaurant?
No, these, I think these walls were added by the last tenant, which had like it was like a jazz club. And I think it was mainly just to section off an area they weren't using. So it wasn't that interesting. But originally, after the Amtrak station closed and they made this a restaurant, they filled this in, and this was a kitchen here. And this, there were cooktops here. We just had the gas lines removed, and then over here is a walk-in fridge. So,
what's your plan for this?
I think this I'm just going to use probably for storage. I considered removing it, but
it can be a bedroom if you just add a window.
It's a very quiet bedroom.
Yeah.
But the problem is the back of it is outside. So if you remove it, it puts a hole in the wall. So then you got to rebuild something. But I did turn it on. It does come on. I didn't, I don't have this much stuff I need to cool. So
yeah.
But I think the stainless walls are kind of neat. This will probably just be like a work area, like a, storage and work area.
So let's go next.
Now this section over here, you can see, so this, like I had mentioned, was just the area where you would go down to board the train and go through the under tunnel. This section over here was added on. I don't know what year though, but it's kind of funny because they have this little mop closet with a toilet, which is kind of interesting. There's no real hand sink. And then you have this gap in between. Here, let me turn the lights on, which I suppose you could put some shelves in and be storage, but it's a little too narrow to be a room. And then you have like a little office in here, which right now I just have as my camera suite. And oh, it's really warm in here.
Yeah.
And then this is the back door, which if you want, we can go out, take a look around. Now this I really love. We've got some grass. And again, being in a downtown location, to have some nature and trees and grass is really nice.
So is this is not very used to board the train. It was in the back, right?
No, so right here's the boarding area, the platform. If you come over here, so remember I told you the stairs inside, there's a parallel set of stairs right here, and then underneath you would cross over.
Can you go there? No?
So if you want, I could probably take the boards off and we can explore a little.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
But be prepared.
Yeah, I am. So you're turning this into an office space, right?
Yes.
Are you going to be renting this out, or is it for your own
actually,
use?
just to some colleagues that I know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a friend that does, he makes like toys, but he hand makes them. They're resin casted, like creatures and things like that. And he's going to rent this area probably back here. But out here, I'm just going to have conference room, like a kitchen, my office, a workshop, stuff like that. The nice thing is every place that's been in here before relied on some kind of foot traffic to stay in business.
So it's not like 100% abandoned.
No, it was empty for a while, but somebody's always owned it.
Yeah.
But what stinks is if you rely on the foot traffic to stay open, then if anything changes, for instance, when the restaurant was here, I'm pretty sure the factory was still open next door. Then once the factory closes, you lose your business.
Yeah.
And, you know, in this case, because it's for my offices and we sell products nationally, you know, through an e-commerce platform, I don't need foot traffic to stay open yet. It'll still, you know, look nice in the community. So let's go see what we can find.
Yeah, right.
Just be prepared. There will be some broken glass and stuff. There were homeless people that stayed back there.
That's okay.
Yeah, I got to do some repairs out here as well. But overall, it's a really solid building in great condition. So we'll have to go out around the fence here. But that's the back of the refrigerator there. And you can see at some point this was open right here. That's where the stairwell went down and then it goes under here.
Yeah, I can see it's sealed now.
Yeah.
It's so crazy how some of these places, man, they all have the history and everything. People used to wait for the train to go to work, probably.
Oh, yeah. And this was the Hercules engine plant next door. So they made engines.
So what's up with this building now?
So now it's an apartment building.
Oh, that's where you live?
Yep. I just cut this tree down because it was growing over here. You can see starting to destroy things. Now I'm keeping an eye on this. I got cameras everywhere. So if people are trying to, I gotta find
Is this a bad area?
I mean, I've lived here 3.5 years and it's been fine. I mean, there's people that walk the tracks and that, but I've not had any issues with anyone.
Yeah.
All right, this is going to be interesting. You're about to have an exclusive.
Let's go.
So.
You were not joking.
Yeah, you want to be careful. Lots of glass. Now this is interesting. I don't know about this direction over here. They filled it in, if you see, but they filled it in a way that had to have been done with a machine because there's no way they did this by hand. And they pushed this concrete rubble in here so tight that it actually lifted the roof.
I see.
So I'm guessing that it was connected to the Hercules engine plant and maybe they filled it from the other side, would be my guess. Then if you go this way, so this is the stairwell that I was telling you about. From inside, you can see that it goes up. And that's
where it was sealed, right?
That's where we were. We were standing on top of that. So they put down corrugated metal and then put concrete over top of it. So, yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, it looks like a subway or of some sort.
It is, yeah, because it is.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. Of course, you know, I have interest in this because obviously people have access to my floor.
Yeah, of course.
So I want to make sure that it's protected.
And you say you don't know if this belongs to you by law.
Well, I mean, by the survey maps, it's my property.
Yeah.
As far as like responsibility is what I'm not sure about. Like if somebody's over here and gets hurt, I don't know if it's my responsibility or the city or the railroad. So I'm going to have to look into that.
So when you were buying this, did you have a walkthrough through this, or did you?
No,
after
I didn't know about this until after I bought it. I mean, I knew this building was here,
Yeah.
but I didn't know that it was connected. So you probably weren't expecting an adventure.
Not really.
Here, I'm going to get this put back on here.
So the trains, is this the active train station?
So there is active trains that come through here. Both these tracks are used.
It's not the, yeah, it's not the station, of course.
No, but it's not a station. Nobody gets off here or anything. What somebody told me was that this track over here was actually came off of the main track, and it was so people could load and unload. There we go.
Yeah, let's go back.
So you can see the addition is here where the white brick is.
This would be so cool as a restaurant again. What do you say?
Oh, I think it would have made an awesome cafe, which if I was in that kind of business, I would have done it. But my whole history is in YouTube and e-commerce.
So you're planning, are you gonna be selling this building eventually, or?
I didn't buy it with the intent to sell. I mean, I suppose down the road anything can happen, but I really like the building and it was inexpensive enough that, you know, I'm happy just to keep it.
Yeah. Oh,
I wish there was a little more history that you could see, you know, more artifacts, but too many places came through and changed too much to really.
I mean, this is a whole niche about people that are into trains, you know, and train stations and stuff like that.
Yes,
so,
I've been contacted by 3 entities to put a camera to watch trains. Which I didn't really know that was a thing, but it sounds, you know,
how much can you charge for that?
I don't know. Actually, I don't mind putting the cameras up. It's just that you got multiple entities that want to do it, and how do you choose? And then one of them wanted to put like a whole computer system and everything, and I was like, I don't want to fill up my closet with equipment that I'm not responsible for.
Yeah, but if someone breaks in and, you know,
right,
steals everything.
Yep.
So when is this going to be done?
I'm shooting for June. So here you can see one of the original windows is left. These 2 were broken out many years ago and they just boarded it up, but I'm going to have these all replaced so there'll be windows.
Is this working?
No. Well, you know what? I don't know if the speakers work, but the amplifier and the PA system is gone. But yeah, I should try them out. It'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. I can still hear glass in my beneath my shoes.
Here, probably give it a little rub.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's much more history here, but you know, like I said, the architecture is feels very 60s, 70-ish.
Yeah, I know.
Contemporary.
Where else we can talk about? I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, anything you can think of, I'm happy to share. But so.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So well, the floor plan, I can talk through it if you'd like to see.
Yeah, let's do that and then.
Sure. So the whole building is about 2,800 square feet, and this section out here is about 1,500 square feet. And the plan is, where you're standing, I want to put my office there, so I have an actual corner office with a window. This will be a kitchen over here. This will be a glass-walled conference room. It's not a huge conference room, but I want the glass wall to take advantage of the daylight coming in. And then I'm going to put a couple of micro offices over here.
Oh, nice.
Again, glass wall, so takes advantage of the daylight. This one won't have any glass in it, but it'll be a private area. Then this right here will be a video production suite. This is where all our videos will be edited. And then this will be the workshop, the main workshop where we do all of our electronics projects and robotics, things like that. And then the back area is going to be fulfillment, inventory, things like that.
Awesome, awesome.
So that's the plan.
All right, man. Well, I think that's pretty much it for today. Thank you so much for letting us explore, and thank you so much for taking me down there to show the people, you know.
You were the first and only one, so you got an exclusive on that.
Awesome, awesome. Hopefully you can clear that up sometimes and make something out of it, you know?
Yeah, when I find out the legality behind it, I would love, I mean, it would be great to make, you know, something out of it, even if it's just like a little, you know, patio area where you could have lunch.
Yeah,
you know, something.
that would be nice.
But yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
I'll let you go back to work.
Sounds good.
All right.
Glad
see
you
ya.
came down, George. Thank
Appreciate
you.
you.